All right, today we're putting on our detective hats and going on a cost-cutting investigation. If you've ever worked with Azure, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That mystery of the exploding bill. Well, we're about to uncover the hidden culprits that are quietly draining your budget.
So let's just get right to it. Have you ever had that moment, you open your monthly cloud statement, you glance at the total, and your jaw just hits the floor? You think, wait, what happened here? It's a super common, super frustrating feeling. Everything seems to be running just fine, but behind the scenes, your costs are secretly spiraling out of control. To get to the bottom of this, we're going to follow a really classic scenario. Let's picture it. You've built this fantastic web app. It's a huge success. People love it, traffic is way up, data is flowing. But that Azure bill, it's growing even faster than your user base. So let's start digging. Okay, our first stop on this investigation is a very usual suspect. This is a place where costs can just multiply in the shadows. Your storage accounts. Now, the absolute key to understanding storage costs is realizing that not all data is created equal. And Azure gets this, which is why they offer something called storage tiers. You can just think of them as different shelves for your data. Each one is designed for a specific purpose, and more importantly, each one has a very, very different price tag. The whole strategy here is just about matching your access needs to the cost. So data you need like right now for your app, that goes on the hot tier. It's the most expensive, but you get millisecond access. Then you've got the cool tier, which is cheaper for data you touch less often, say stuff that's older than 30 days. And finally, there's the archive tier. This one is incredibly cheap, but, and this is the catch, getting your data back can take hours. It makes it absolutely perfect for those long-term backups you hope you never have to look at. And this, right here, this is the core of the problem. When a user uploads a new photo, that data is hot. People are looking at it, it's being accessed a lot. But what about a month later, or a year later? It cools down. The issue is, if we don't do anything about it, that year-old photo is still sitting on the most expensive hot shelf, costing us a premium every single month. So the solution is just one word: automation. I mean, manually moving terabytes of files, that's just not going to happen. Instead, we use Azure's lifecycle management policies to create some really simple rules. Like, hey, if a file hasn't been touched in 30 days, automatically move it from hot to cool. And then another one, after 180 days in cool, send it to the super cheap archive tier. You literally set it up once, and the savings just roll in automatically, month after month. All right, with our storage costs now under control, our investigation turns to the real engine of our application, the cloud database. When we launch an app, we tend to over-provision. It's totally normal. We grab a powerful database because we want to guarantee performance, right? Especially during setup, it's just so easy to click a button for a high-performance default. And the result? We end up paying for 100% of that potential power, 24/7, whether we're actually using it or not. This power is measured in things called DTUs, or vCores. But here's the catch. You pay for what you reserve, not what you actually use. Think of it like renting a giant moving truck every single day, just in case you need it, even when most days you're only moving a single box. It's incredibly inefficient, but it is the default state for so many applications out there. So how do we fix it? Well, first, we actually look at the usage metrics right inside Azure. We compare what we're paying for against what the database is really doing. And based on that data, we right-size our production database to match the real-world demand. And this is just as important. We scale down our non-critical databases, for dev and staging. They just don't need the same muscle as production. And the results of this kind of tuning can be absolutely staggering. By simply aligning our reserved power with our actual needs, we see a massive, massive drop in cost. In our little scenario here, we slashed our database spending by 60%, all without a single user ever noticing a change in performance. That is a huge win for the bottom line. Okay, we've tackled storage, we've tackled databases, but our investigation is not over yet. There's one more suspect, and this one is the sneakiest of all, because it's basically invisible until the bill arrives. We're talking about network egress fees. Yeah, there's a saying among cloud architects that just fits perfectly here. Data egress is that cost you always forget to budget for. It's like a silent partner that just takes a cut of every single transaction. So what is it exactly? Well, to put it simply, data egress is the fee you pay whenever data leaves the Azure network. Every time a user of our web app downloads a high-res image, or streams a video, or pulls a report, that data is egressing, and Azure is charging us for that transfer. It even applies when you move data between different Azure regions.
And these fees, oh, they multiply with frightening speed. Just look at this number. In some regions, you're paying almost 9 cents per gigabyte. Let that sink in. That means transferring just 1 terabyte of data, which is really not that much for a successful app, costs nearly $87. For a website that's heavy on images or videos, this hidden fee can quietly become one of your biggest monthly expenses. The trick here is to figure out how to move less data out of your core systems.
Okay, we've identified the 3 main culprits behind our runaway Azure bill. We've cracked the case. Now, let's pull all our findings together into a simple, actionable plan that you can apply to your own environment. Here it is, your 4-step blueprint for taking back control. Step 1, audit your storage. You got to know what's sitting on that expensive hot tier. Step 2, automate data movement with those lifecycle policies. Set them and forget them. Step 3, right-size your database resources to match what you actually use. And finally, Step 4, for that sneaky egress culprit, you leverage a content delivery network, or a CDN. By caching your content like images and videos closer to your users, the data doesn't have to leave your primary Azure region every single time, and that can drastically cut those fees.
So, as we wrap up our little investigation, I'm going to leave you with a question. After seeing these common culprits, which one do you think is quietly inflating your cloud bill right now? Is it that old data sitting in hot storage, an oversized database, or maybe it's the silent sting of those egress fees? The clues are all there, waiting for you in your cost reports. It's time to start digging.